Hi, this is Rick Snyder with Three Sunz, and we're California Dreamin'. I'm here with Chuck Block, who is the most amazing luthier I believe I've ever had the pleasure of meeting. Now, I'm going to say this, but don't judge me for it. I've been playing guitar for 53 years, and clearly I'm no expert at it, and I've certainly had an opportunity to bring guitars to a number of different luthiers for a variety of different reasons. Chuck, talking to him, he's absolutely amazed me with the vast store of knowledge that he has. We're working on my Martin JPC, and what we're doing is we are going to lower the action on the neck so that my poor arthritic hands can play a little bit easier. So if you're a guitar player, one of the things that you really want to have is a great luthier, because you want somebody who knows the instrument to be able to work on it. Chuck, you've got an amazing variety of tools here. How long have you been doing this?
Oh, geez. The Beach Boys were a high school garage band in the next town from our music store.
Oh my goodness.
Larry Carlton, the jazz guitar player, was he was about 18 when I started working on his stuff.
Really?
So a few years.
That's awesome. So what made you decide to do this?
Well,
of all the things that you could do, why this?
I worked in a music store and inherited half the store, and I'd always been good at working with wood, so it's a good living and I enjoy doing it.
Okay. And when did you leave there to come here?
About 1987 we moved up here.
Okay.
Oops. I have a picture of the old store. That word music was 30 feet long. It was a huge sign. You could see it from the 405 freeway, a block and a half away.
Really?
Yep.
And Lawndale, okay, so what street was it on?
Hawthorne Boulevard,
okay.
The main drag.
And my dad had a store on Crenshaw and PCH. He had a liquor store,
okay.
the Town Pump Liquor.
Yeah,
so he was right down the street from you.
This little tool's whole purpose in life for $170 is to make this bottom flat.
Wow.
On the sandpaper.
Okay.
And you need the bottom flat because of the pickup.
Right. Oh, okay. Because if it's not touching completely in all the places, I won't get the correct sound reproduction from the strings.
That's it.
So who are some of the artists that you've worked with over the years?
Well, the famous Ron Block, who plays for Alison Krauss.
Oh, okay.
My son.
Oh.
Yeah.
So did you influence him to be a musician?
No, I influenced him not to be a musician, but he didn't listen to me. Oh, really? I'd seen a lot of great musicians who couldn't make a living playing music.
Right, there's dozens of them in California, hundreds maybe.
But like I said, he didn't listen to me, and he ended up doing well.
Okay.
The kid on the motorcycle used to be our cleaning boy. That's Gilby Clark, who went with Guns N' Roses, took Slash's place.
Oh, really?
I told him the same thing. He said, "No, I'm going to be a rock and roll guitar player." That was it.
So, in the period of time that you've been doing this, what would you say is the most profound change in the nature of the music business?
Probably the electronics. Which, when I had a store, I would turn all that stuff over to other people, the MIDI, and all the different kinds of keyboards and electronic devices. Nothing that significant has changed in like guitar gear and so on as far as the guitars themselves.
Would you say that my assessment is correct about guitar players needing a good luthier?
Oh, definitely. I've seen some pretty, I won't name any stores, but I've seen some setups that were done by people who didn't even own a set of the files you use to cut these grooves to the right height. And to me, that's the most important. If I had one thing to do to every guitar for a beginner, it would be to lower the nut to just off the fret.
Okay.
If I could only do one thing, that would be the thing I do in this particular store wasn't doing, skipping that part. And
And
that's
that's-
where you play when you learn, is down near the nut. You know?
Absolutely, absolutely. And also, you know, if you can't make the strings go down and make them sound up when you're first learning, it's a very frustrating experience.
Right.
So you've worked on numerous guitars. I'm going to ask you about acoustic guitars first. If you could recommend an acoustic guitar to a good player, what's the guitar you would recommend to them?
Well, there's a lot of good guitars, and
There are.
I found years ago when I had the retail store, if my salesman liked Gibsons, he'd sell a lot of Gibsons. If he liked Fenders, he'd sell a lot of Fenders.
Right.
They pushed their own preferences, so not even knowing they were doing it. But Martin is good. If you took 100 Martins, you'd probably, this is at least back in the day when I was selling them, like D18s, Z28s, the most common type. You'd probably find 9 of them were exceptionally nice guitars, where if you took 100 Gibsons, you might find 70 of them that were,
70?
yeah, they were,
More consistent?
Martin was more consistent. Yeah, that's my personal opinion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So 90 out of 100 Martins are going to
Yeah,
be nice.
yeah.
70 out of 100.
Yeah, I rarely
Gibsons.
found a Martin that didn't sound better than average, where I found a lot of Gibsons that, okay, they sound good, but they're not that much better than Epiphone or some of the import. There's a jillion good guitars out there you can buy for beginners,
Right.
that they may not sound great, but they'll let you get started, if they're set up right, to where they don't kill you trying to learn, or you just figure you can't learn.
Well, and interestingly, I kind of like Taylor's as well.
Taylor's a real good guitar.
A totally different guitar than the Martin. You get a totally different sound with the Taylor than you do with the Martin. It seems to be a much brighter sound.
I was a Fender dealer when they first came out, where Fender would come around and beg you to put their stuff in your store and pay them when you sold it.
Oh, so
And
they were
I-
putting it in on consignment.
I used to, this is before the 91 freeway even went in, I'd get on the phone, call the factory, says, hey, you got a Candy Apple Strat and a Super Reverb in stock? The guy'd say, hang on, I'll go check. He'd go out in the warehouse and look for the stuff. Yeah, we got them, and I'd get in the truck.
You've definitely got some history in the music business.
Yeah,
You've always been in Southern California?
yeah. I used to do 6 different guitars for Larry Carlton when he was 18, 20 years old. He was recording every day in Hollywood, and they'd have 6, a Stratocaster, a Telecaster, ES335, whatever they needed. He just,
For the tone
Yeah,
that they needed for the
right.
song.
yeah.
You ever talk to Larry?
Last time I saw him was at a NAMM show. Somebody's tapped me on the shoulder, and I hadn't seen him probably 20 years. And he lives in Franklin now, same city as my son is, in Franklin, Tennessee.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, he got shot in the neck in Hollywood and almost lost his voice years
What? Larry Carlton?
years ago, in a holdup.
Oh,
Yeah.
what? He was just at the wrong place at the wrong
Yeah,
time?
Yep.
Holy smokes! I've never heard that story before. So explain what you've done so far to the
Well,
instrument.
I put the lighter gauge string on it, adjusted the neck, cut the bridge saddle down, re-slotted the grooves to make sure they hit tight against the saddle. Now I'm going to loosen this neck a little more. Actually, I'm loosening in direction only. I'm actually tightening.
Okay.
And then I'm going to check the nut. I want to lower this first because that does drop the strings a hair towards the nut.
Okay. And this device measures the angle of the
curve.
curve of the neck.
Yep.
So would you say it's all about having the right tools?
a lot of it, but you got to know how to use them.
Right.
The wrong tools and the right tools in the wrong hand can be a disaster.
Or useless, either way, okay?
You know, I tell people who want to learn how to do this kind of stuff is get you a couple of scrap guitars that don't matter to practice on. Like if you want to learn how to put frets in,
Right.
you know, or level frets, which like say you had a lot of wear here, which you don't, or you had high or low spots, which you see on a lot of the lower priced imports. You'll get up to about here and you'll start getting the same note for 3 or 4 notes. There's a high fret or low frets.
Okay.
Then you start leveling them out with these special blocks. First you have to make the neck straight, you know, then you sand them, then I reshape them with these special curved files.
So did you go to school to learn any of this? No, this is all on-the-job training. I mean, the value of music, as far as I'm concerned, is so incredibly high that most musicians just don't get what it's worth. I mean, what's it worth to go someplace when you're feeling bad, hear somebody play a piece of music, and feel so much better after you hear it?
You have a pick on you?
I do.
When we pull it, you can use this tool right here.
Oh my God, this is so much better. Chuck, thank you so much for spending some time with us. Your skills are absolutely amazing, and I am so impressed with what you can do. This guitar is just, the action on it is fantastic. It almost plays itself now.
Thank you.
And, oh God, I just love that. I love that. Although I can see it's going to take a little getting used to for me to adjust and acclimate to the way the strings are and everything else. So, but I've got plenty of time, and I'm more than happy to do that. So thank you very much.